West Adams in Los Angeles has had a rich history, but it's also had its challenges. In the 1930s and 40s, this area was affluent, but then the I-10 freeway basically cut the city in half, making suburbs like this less favourable. Today, West Adams is having a renaissance, and it's where an architectural organisation has chosen to make its home. Carlo, you're the American Institute of Architects, the Los Angeles chapter.
Yes, indeed.
So why here?
Because we wanted to be in a very central position to allow all of our members to participate in our events and programs.
Yes, because in this town, you could be driving all day.
You could be driving for hours and hours, exactly, yes.
Yeah.
The second reason is because we want to be of service to communities, and this is exactly the place where we are supposed to be right now.
And Carlo, why this particular building?
Well, curious enough, this was the first building that we saw, but we didn't want to get, stuck with this building. We want actually to date other buildings.
Okay, so, you want to play the field?
Play the field, exactly. But in the end, the first love you just can't forget. So here we are.
I'm so happy for you. Clay.
Hi, Mike.
So you were the architect on this project. Look at this. What a space.
Great space, tall ceilings, big windows, lots of natural light. We wanted to provide a kind of a neutral backdrop for the host of events and exhibits to take place.
And also some lovely little detail you've retained there, an ode to the past.
Yes, certainly. We found some beautiful corbel details and ceiling details we believe are original to the space. I call them Depression era details. They did a lot with a little. Yeah. And that became kind of our mantra too for the project.
And I know a challenge with a big space like this would be acoustics. Any tips and tricks there?
Certainly. In a big space with hard surfaces, it's important to absorb as much sound as possible. So you really need to utilize every surface available. In the walls, in the ceilings. We found a wonderful product from Otex Acoustics that could be cut to size and fit. It's made of recycled plastic felt material.
Shall I do the clap test?
Please. No reverb.
Flat. Now, Clay, this is an interesting space here at the back. What's going on here?
Well, originally built as a bank, so take a guess.
The vault.
That's right. The old bank vault.
Look how thick those walls are.
Yeah, 18 inches thick, solid concrete all the way around. Originally covered in plaster, we decided to chisel off the plaster and reveal the texture of the concrete.
Yeah, and it makes a fantastic conference room. Now, tell me about this timber structure. I notice it's got some gaps there. What's your thinking there?
Yeah, those are deliberate. We're here in seismic earthquake country, so they're designed to take the movement during an earthquake without cracking the panels.
Of course, we're in California.
That's right.
Now, I love this mezzanine. What's the big move here?
We were able to capture unused attic space and reuse it as a bit of a green room for quiet working and a collaboration zone.
Now, from up here, it's a great view of the floor space and interesting patterns going on there.
Yeah, actually, the checkerboard you see there is original bank floor. It's old-fashioned terrazzo poured in a pattern. Yeah.
Really? From the 1920s?
That's right, yeah. To evenly light the space was a challenge with the high ceilings. So we turned to our partners at DMF Lighting, who has a modular kit of parts lighting that allowed us to get high-performance, high-powered lights all the way to the floor, nice and evenly lit. And it allowed the adjustability of customizing the color to match our ceiling.
Right. Now the bathroom, it's kind of tucked away there to the side and to the back of the old vault.
Yeah, quite literally between a rock and a hard place, we had to fit that bathroom. So to get all the required accessibility dimensions is quite a challenge.
And they're gender neutral. That must be some sensitivities around that.
That's right. With gender neutral comes privacy concerns, security concerns. To solve that, we turned to Bobrick and Thrislington partitions, which provided elegant floor-to-ceiling partitions that have a bit of an indicator light at the top to tell you if the stall is occupied or not. This adds to the safety features. But the challenge with gender-neutral restrooms in California is that they're still not allowed by code.
You're joking. In liberal California.
Yeah, it's hard to believe, but we worked closely with the city of Los Angeles to start to help rewrite that code to allow future projects to use this technique.
How interesting. That bathroom has been instrumental in changing the code in the state.
That's right, yeah. It's become a flagship for local projects.
Clay, were you tempted to make this opening larger through to the office and the courtyard?
We would have loved to, Mike, but we didn't want to push our luck with the code officials.
Ah, yes, especially after the bathroom incident.
That's right.
Now, this is the office area. I can see Carlo doing some work there.
Yep.
Was that your work?
I'm afraid not. We were lucky to find it from previous tenants, but we liked the aesthetic and we ran with it. In fact, it inspired an abstraction of interior landscape, including acoustical clouds and acoustical mountains on the wall.
Ah, okay. What's that in the cloud there?
Yeah, we also found these HVAC systems from Samsung. They're round, which is very unique, they're quiet, and they're highly efficient.
Okay. A lot more interesting than the boxy thing stuck on the wall.
Most definitely, yes.
Now, I'm also seeing there's no window dressings.
Yeah, we did that on purpose. We really wanted to welcome the community in, be transparent. If you're around later, you'll see how the building glows. It's kind of a new lantern landmark in the neighborhood.
Well, this is another space and well suited for the California climate. Harvey, you're the president. Is this all working?
Well, we're architects, and so I have to start by saying, for us, bricks and mortar is where it's at. A typical event of ours begins with people entering through that gate and a reception of some kind here, and then moving on into the interior for the program. But over the course of the program, you find people wandering in and out and using this space as a place to do that networking, make those encounters that they were looking forward to.
And Carlo, what about the neighbors?
Well, the neighborhoods are really liking the space. The space has been abandoned for a long time. It has been such a prominent building in the neighborhood, and having it reactivated really brings a lot of a sense of security to the neighbors.
So Clay, quite an honor to design this project, but also a tough gig.
Yeah, it was an honor to be trusted by my peers, but with thousands of architects looking over my shoulder, no pressure, right?
I can see in this light what Clay means. The AIA Los Angeles headquarters is a beacon in this community, welcoming all who want to engage.